And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker. Yo. Welcome, everybody. I'm pumped. We got a hell of a show today. It's our second annual, I guess you can call it the 2017 second annual IRWP, the It's Real Wrestling Podcast Awards. Our award show last week. I'm pretty pumped, stoked, jacked. Jinder Mahal jacked. You don't hinder the gender. I'm pumped. But I wouldn't be pumped if I wasn't here along with my boy, Sage the Mark. Sage, what up?
Girl, you want to come to my hotel? Baby, I will give you my room key. I'm feeling the way you carry yourself, girl. And I want to get with you because you're a cutie. So if you want to come to my hotel, all you got to do is holler at me. Because we having an after party. Checking out 6 in the morning.
Yo.
What up, in Goosen?
What up, Sage the Mark? How you doing, man?
You know, living life, can't complain at all. How you doing?
You could complain, but ain't nobody fixing to listen.
Yeah, this is true.
So this is a big week. The second annual. I mean, we've been doing this for over a year now. This is the second annual IRWP Awards. Yo, I'm pumped. Like I'm excited. I gotta admit, I'm thrilled, bruh.
I am too, man. It's 2 years in a row, man. 2 years in a row. We're doing it big. We're doing it big with the award show. We got lots to cover. And 2018 is like a week away. Like, we ready to do this.
We are.
It's a good year.
So before we get into the award show, I wanna shout out a couple things. We could start with Vince McMahon and this potential XFL thing. But we'll get into that in a bit. But what I think we could talk about, I want to share a story with you. Last week, I went to a local establishment that serves some cold brews and tacos. And here's the thing. It was pretty awesome, not going to lie. I met up Dobby Amore. If y'all have listened before, he's one of the regulars here. Oh, Dobby Amore shares his thoughts and all that good stuff. So we hit up a spot, got some tacos and some brews at 8:30 in the morning. So 3 o'clock rolls around. We're feeling real good. We're feeling real good. And I want to say his old man, who's retired, hell of a dude, retired firefighter, retired Navy, shows up. Me and Dobby Amore about 2 beers deep, maybe 10, maybe 11, maybe 12, maybe 3. But we're feeling pretty loosey-goosey. Yo, Dobby Amore, his dad shows up. And he starts a chant of, one more match. And the whole bar lit up and started off with that one more match chant. No joke. What up, Silky Mel Johnson? I'm glad you joined. Believe me, Silky Mel, to you here in a little bit. A special shout out to you here in a bit. But yeah, he started a one more match chant, and the whole bar started a one more match. He showed up. His dad says hi to everybody. And somebody started a "You Still Got It" chant. How awesome is that?
Yo, that's amazing. But for some reason, I'm not surprised, man. I can see Dobbs doing that. It must be in his genes. You know what I'm saying? It must be in his genes to do something like that. Now, if he can get an Let's Go IRWP or subscribe to IRWP chat, we would be solid. That's what we really need right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, hell of a week in wrestling. Before we get into the awards, real quick, let's start outside the ring. Vince McMahon, Alpha Entertainment. Don't know if you got the text, if you got the breaking news story about 2 hours ago. We're doing this on Thursday, the 21st. 2 hours ago, got the official Vince McMahon withdrew $100 million in his stock investments into the WWE to start up and fund Alpha Entertainment. Where's that going? Talk to me.
You know, I got a hold of this story a little late, so I don't know all the. Yeah, check my nose there, man. Looking a little shady on the screen there. There we go. Y'all didn't see that. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Anyhow, so apparently, you know, there's been some talk about Mr. McMahon possibly reviving the XFL, probably calling it something a little bit different, being a little bit more mainstreamish. But that's the word on the street, man. Either that or maybe buying the Panthers. I don't know.
Hey, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that at all. Vince McMahon buying the Panthers. I didn't think about that whatsoever. Yo, how big would that be if Vince McMahon didn't get into the XFL, but he bought the Panthers? Did you make that up?
No, I mean there's been, there's a lot of speculation out there. I know that the hot topic right now is the Carolina Panthers are up for sale, and I believe that the owner of the Panthers and Vince McMahon may have like some prior dealings. I don't know. I remember a couple of years ago hearing both of their names in a press conference or something like that, or some type of op-ed or something. But it's possible, man. When you draw out that kind of money or liquidate that type of assets, it's usually because you're going to try to become or trying to invest in something that's already existing, or trying to finance something new. So my money is on the XFL, but I wouldn't be surprised. Well, my money's actually on him buying part of the Carolina Panthers.
I agree. I agree. I think that it could be legit. The XFL needs to stay the hell away. But shout outs to we had somebody else in the chat today. Steven fix my fucking phone. Yo, and he said FMFP. Get it? Yo, that's legit.
Yo, my bad, Dobbs. You got the worst of luck, man. The worst of luck. Like this week, we were supposed to get things done, but my Star Wars movie came out, man. I had to go see my boy Kylo Ren Rex shop, and yeah, man. Unfortunately, they had only late showings, so you got the squeeze, son. My bad, but you got the squeeze.
That is great. Kayfabe is broke. That's like me accidentally saying a certain name, possibly my real name, last week, and I think about 8 months ago, and again about 12 months ago, and when I had strep last January. So, you know what? Beyond that, I think that was about it that happened outside the ring, right?
Yes. I don't recall anything else happening.
All right. So what do you say we go ahead and get in this first award? We got a lot of awards. Today. Silky Mel Johnson, Steven Martinez in the chat. For those of y'all that don't know, when we do this show, we do it live every Thursday night on YouTube between 9 and 10. The reason I say between 9 and 10 is because net neutrality tells us when we can go online and when we can't, when we got to pay that little bit extra bit of money.
They're already starting.
Yeah, they are. And I responded to my ISP. They said, yo ass got to pay some extra if you're going to host a podcast. And I said, nah, you need to hit up Trump on this tax cut and tell that fool take some money out my taxes so I get some more money so I can pay for this net neutrality stuff that's gone away. But I digress. A brother digress. You know, a brother, anytime something tax-wise has to go, I got to claim mine so I can go buy me a pack of Cools and a couple beers, because that's how we do. But what do you say? Can you roll that beautiful footage? Can we go ahead and get in this first award? What's the first award? Go ahead, take it away.
We are going to be presenting the second annual 2017 IRWP Awards Dunce of the Year.
Tell me about these nominees, please.
Yes. So you guys will know Five-time Booker T made the list this year, man. That commentary, he was called in to replace David Otunga in commentary, but on the Raw side of the house. And boy, oh boy, do I miss last year's Dunce of the Year recipient, because Booker T has just been atrocious. No selling new talent, not helping them get over. Can't tell whether or not he was a face commentator or a heel commentator. Doesn't know what the heck that he's doing. Respectfully, Booker T, you deserve to be on this list, son. But perhaps you might be outshined by the Ball family.
Nice transition.
Say again?
That was a nice transition. Bro, you might be on this list next year because you just froze.
Yeah, son. I don't know who was more dissolved, who was more deserving in the Ball family, whether it was LeVar, Lonzo, or what was the Trevor? What was the other guy? The one who got
whacked
in China.
Trash, because they're both playing overseas right now.
You deserve it. You deserve it. The Ball family. Y'all just go back and watch the footage. They don't need no more airtime. But you know who does get airtime? Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton, you know.
Enough said.
Now, what might be surprising is our last recipient, which is the Universal title. And Goose, why is the Universal title on this list?
Because, fellas, let's look at this. The Universal title for the entire year, with the exception of January and February when Kevin Owens had it, the Universal title has been on part-timers. Now, we could all say, you know what? Yeah, but the Brock and Goldberg matches were good. The Brock and AJ match was good. The Brock and this, the Brock and Braun. Bro, case in point, you have a wrestling show with a title that's never on the line, that's never on the show. And quite frankly, regardless of how good or bad the matches are, you already know the outcome of them. So I challenge all the listeners out there. You obviously knew Brock was going to beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. Matter of fact, if you went back and checked the Vegas odds on the fight, Brock was something like minus 800, minus 1,500, something insane. So we obviously knew where it was going. So it's the Universal title. It was not ever on, it's rarely on the line. And at the end of 2017, come on, the Universal title is going to be decided in a triple threat match with Kane and Braun Strowman. So Universal title, you got nominated. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Go ahead and give out the award, and the winner of the Dunce of the Year is the old Universal title.
You did it. You did it. You go, Universal title.
Old weak ass Universal title, especially when your competition is the SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship that went to Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles throughout the year, and Randy Orton, all that good stuff. But it's just, I'm gonna drop it again. I'm gonna drop. Shout outs to Steve Martinez. He just said, you want a Dunce title? Check out 205 Live. Yo.
You're wrong for that, son. 205 Live is where it's at.
He's not wrong. Go back. Everybody's Enzo and his crazy promos really hyped up 205 Live. 205 still in the learning process. Mm-hmm. So I'll give him that. But the Universal title definitely didn't fare too well with us this year here at the IRWP. Do you want to go ahead and get into that second award? Should we go ahead and?
Well, let me ask you a quick question, Goose. What does 205 Live have that the Universal title doesn't have?
Champions that fight?
No, it has my PowerPoint presentation.
This is what I'm gonna say to that. Ready? That's going to become the new sound. So let's get into the next award. We got a lot of awards to give away. Thank you for joining us in the chat, Stephen Martinez, Silky Mel Johnson, Stephen Thatch, amongst many others. Thank you for y'all chiming in and listening. We appreciate it. So the Gift of Gab Award. Say, do you mind if I take this one? I'm going to call out these nominees real quick.
It's all you, Goose.
So the Gift of Gab last year. It was the first year that we went with the award. The Gift of Gab is those who just flat out have the best mic skills in the business for the year. And your nominees are Enzo Amore. Enzo didn't make the list last year just because he was in a tag team and he's real catchphrase driven. This year, he really showed off his mic skills. He went off on all of the cruiserweights, and that was one of the hottest things going in WWE for a while. It was main eventing Raw for a couple weeks straight. We can't talk about the Gift of Gab without talking about The Miz. Miz may go down as one of the greatest all time on the mic. When that man has a mic, like CM, it's a pipe bomb in his hand. He makes this list, as well as the New Day. The New Day are also nominated because they have the ability to grasp the crowd. They can grasp the crowd and just everything. These dudes made pancakes, some flapjacks. They made pancakes relevant. Who else can make pancakes relevant? They bring in the crowd.
Don't flap the wrong jack, sucker!
Yeah. Did you watch SmackDown this week? Wasn't that
Loved
the best thing I heard on SmackDown? The best part of SmackDown, and after this, we'll get into our Raw and SmackDown quick reviews, is the New Day Rusev segment. We'll get into that in a bit. And then we'd be remiss without the man who's fighting January 4th, or is it maybe January 5th? Depends on where you live in the world. NJPW versus Kenny Omega. Chris Jericho in the list. Chris Jericho was hot. The dude is just, he knows what to say on the mic. He could say anything, and it's gonna go well on the mic. The dude is in his 40s. He's past his prime and made a clipboard list famous. So we're giving him the nominee for the Gift of Gab. It's something Jericho deserves. But did he win? Did he win? Let's find out.
Trigger that too quick.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy. Gotta talk over this track so you two don't try to take us down.
Yeah, YouTube's gonna take us off real quick. So the Miz, we cannot say, in the grand scheme of things, no matter what happens, we cannot say that the Miz didn't win this for the second year in a row, everybody. The Miz picking up the award for the second year in a row. Shout outs to the Miz.
Yeah, man.
Everything he said was golden. He could put anybody down and promote somebody at the same time. Paul Heyman was a close second because unfortunately, he's just not on Raw that often. He's not as consistent as the Miz. Shout outs to the Miz.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Miz. I mean, when they made the switch from SmackDown to Raw, it was a little bit of a blow, to SmackDown because I felt like they needed him. But man, he really elevated everyone on the Raw, man. His promo that he cut against Roman Reigns, legendary, man. Just legendary. I thought Cena's was bad. This one was amazing. Week after week, we were just talking about how we can't wait to see what the Miz is gonna do, what the Miz is gonna say, what he's gonna do, what he's gonna say. And he's really, the crowd has really gotten behind him. One of the most underrated talents on the roster. It's so good. Hopefully he gets a run for the WWE title. I think that, or the Universal title, I should say. That crap ass title. But I digress.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Hopefully the Miz has got some big things ahead of him, filming movies and having babies and stuff. So I want to get into this week. Let's start off with Raw. I thought Raw was SAWFT soft. this week. I couldn't. That's the best way I could put it up. I mean, because I can't misspell week, W-E-A-K. I just wasn't a fan of Raw this week. I mean, I still watch it every week. What was that? What? Before we get into the main event of Raw and how Raw ended, what struck you on Raw? Like, what drew you in?
I mean, I thought that the placements of some of the matches were kind of a little bit off, but as the night started to progress, I think it was like in hour 2, I started to notice where they were going with it, which I know that we're going to be talking about it a little bit later on. You know, many of the matches were a little bit longer, which I'm generally okay with. But what I'm not okay with is when commentary is so distracting that you can't actually see a good match going on. And by that, I mean the 205 matchup between Drew Gulak and oh man, what's his name? Cedric Alexander.
Yes.
The match was a phenomenal match. It was a great match, but like Enzo and what was it? Enzo, Corey, and
Booker.
like Enzo was. I can't even say it was Corey or Michael Cole.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Michael Cole.
Michael
Yes,
Cole.
yes.
It was just Enzo just running his mouth like 24/7. Like it was a freaking train wreck. Like I literally had to put it on mute because I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't concentrate on the actual match itself, and I don't really like that too much, man. So
I agree. I thought Raw wasn't that great. Obviously, we're looking at an era where Dean Ambrose may be injured. I read today that he had some surgery, so he may be out for a bit. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything around that timetable about how long he'll be out? Because it's not a TV storyline. He's legit hurt.
Yeah, he's definitely hurt. I think that they played the storyline to kind of really emphasize that, hey, he's going to be out, but he had surgery. I want to say Tuesday he had surgery, and it sounds like it's maybe like Tommy John kind of thing. I don't know for sure, but
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we could honestly say Dean Ambrose's days of throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs is definitely gone. The ending of Raw, since there wasn't too much to talk about on Raw did make me, just like Mel Johnson said in the chat, did kind of make me fall asleep a little bit, but it's all good. Got to fast forward through a lot of the stuff. The ending of Raw. So one thing I didn't think watching it that women's match was the main event. I thought there'd be something afterwards. And then when it ended and Stephanie McMahon came out, first off, it was a free-for-all. Everyone was getting beat up. And watching it, I see that Stephanie McMahon comes out at the end and announces the first ever female Royal Rumble and says, this is where we should start a yes chant. The fans chant yes. And by the time she had said this is where we should start the yes chant, to where the yes chant was kind of getting started, Raw ended, and that was the end of it. So just,
dude, like on my screen, like it, like I can't even really describe it, man. It's like they did the yes thing, and then it just abruptly stopped. Like it completely stopped.
It did. It was almost the same thing on the USA live stream. It almost stopped, and the women were like completely no-selling the fact that they just got into this hardcore brawl. And Absolution beat up a bunch of people, like Nia Jax. They just completely no-sold it. So it was kind of like, hey, man, we got this feud going. It'd be like if I came out and jumped you in the ring and beat you up and beat the crap out of you, hit my finisher and everything, and then Shane or somebody comes out and says, hey, by the way, we're having a wrestling podcast battle royal, and you just no-sold everything, and you were like, oh, man, that's awesome. Hey, good luck, bangers. Have a good day. It just was awkward, and I felt like it was an announcement that everybody knew was going to happen anyway, so it's kind of awkward. So my question is, with Royal Rumble, so it's one of the big 4 pay-per-views. Obviously, it's going to start an hour early, so it'll start at 6 Central and go on until 10, maybe later. So do you think that they'll have the women come out every minute to 2 minutes or whatever?
So let me just kind of backtrack just a little bit. I know that there was a lot of rumors ahead of time, even so far back as like before Survivor Series, that they were planning on having a Royal Rumble, and just wanted to let you know Dave Meltzer was right. Anyhow, but the reaction in the ring, especially with like Absolution, like it seemed like maybe some of them didn't know, so maybe they wanted to kind of give them the, I don't know, like the surprise and shock factor. Like you could tell Sasha knew and you could tell Bailey knew, but maybe not. I don't know, maybe not
Absolution or something?
Yeah, Absolution, or some people in the Absolution, or others, but and Nia definitely knew, tried to oversell that thing. So that's cool, but I think that they kind of pulled a Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens got surprised that he was actually going to win the title, and I like that. I like it when they do it like that. So,
and shout outs to Steven. We got Stephen Thatch, Mel Johnson, all these cats in the chat these days. We're growing on YouTube. Shout outs to Steven Martinez, who flat out says, "Man, damn pre-show is going to start at high noon these days." Man, that's a lot of wrestling to watch, especially when Hangover's that same weekend. So we digress. I didn't have anything else to touch on Raw. Did you? It wasn't the greatest Raw ever.
No, it's not. And then as far as the Women's Royal Rumble, like you were saying, I do think that they will probably go on first. I think that that's kind of the smart thing to do. Let them go on first. It's going to be about 20 women. Maybe we will save what we think might happen for when we come back from our break.
Yeah, predictions, but, obviously. Yeah, prediction show.
All I'll say about it is, please, WWE, don't mess this up for views.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. There's so many women, so many stories to tell.
I just don't want them to. I really don't want them to mess it up, man. I really don't, because I actually legit care about this, and if they mess this up, it's just there's no coming back. So, but with that being said, man, you want to, since we were on the topic of catchphrases, what do you say about us getting into the Sadate Award?
Sadate Award. Hit me with it, Sage.
All right, guys. So the Sadate Award is exactly what it sounds like. It's that phrase that just gets you, that you hear, and you're just like, yes, that's it. Made famous by Pootie Tang, friend of the show. I got to say the name knows my brother, Wadatai. So first on the list, we got the Drew Gulak. He is arguably in 2017 one of the flag bearers of 205 Live, who's kind of kept it really, really interesting, especially with his PowerPoint presentation. Good old Drew Gulak there. Next on the list, we got the Bullet Club. Bullet Club had actually one of two.
Yeah, big time. Huge fan.
Yeah, really making waves this year, especially with their T-shirts going everywhere. You know, all I can say is FTRR, right?
You get it? Oh, I get it.
Okay, I get
it.
All right, we're good, man. We're good. But we would be remiss again if we didn't mention one of the greatest tag teams of 2017. I'm sorry if I gave a little bit of a sleight of hand there, but one thing you need to know is you need to be welcomed to the Uso Penitentiary, son. And what about the last one, Goose?
I'm going to go with the Bullet Club. Shout outs to Steven Thatcher and Steven Martinez. We got too many damn Stevens in this chat competing for some chat time. Steven Martinez gets it. FTRR, right? And too sweet, which turned into one sweet, which turned into cease and desist, which turned into a ton of different things. The Bullet Club, They are a catchphrase club for sure.
Yeah, but
Now, where would we be if we were remiss to announce these four? The PowerPoint presentation, the Bullet Club with FTRR, right? The Usos with Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary, and the Bullet Club with Too Sweet, without announcing the winner. So I'll announce and bring in that beautiful, sexy drum roll, please.
Lockdown.
Easily the winners of this year's award.
Tell them why, Oos.
I know there was a lot of awards.
Lockdown.
I think I talked to Dabby Amore last week. He may not remember it because I told you all about earlier what we did last week.
Because he's locked down.
And he said, how about goodbye and good night? Bang! Kenny Omega, The List, Chris Jericho, which we bought in kind of for the most part last year. There was a lot of catchphrases. Sage the Mark, you actually brought in some Kevin Owens stuff in regards to Making America. What was it that you were trying to bring in with Kevin Owens?
Make America great again.
Oh, it was Donald Trump. Close.
The face of America.
So, obviously, the Usos had an amazing year. Just a flat out, an amazing year. Best year of the Usos' career by far. These guys are selling merch. They're doing everything that needs to be done. It's actually amazing what these guys have done. They've done it on the mic. They've done it in the ring. So shout outs to the Usos for winning the 2017 Sarate, the Catchphrase of the Year award. Now, talking about awards, we have a lot to give away, right, Sage? We got a lot of awards to give away.
We do got a lot of awards to get away. It ain't the next one, though.
Is it not? Let's get into the next one.
All right.
Let's get into the next award. This award, I'll admit, we had a little bit of a debate on this award. Sage and I disagreed, actually, a lot. But we debated on things. You know what I'm saying? So, Sage, go ahead and hit us with the nominees in the next award, please.
And the nominees for the 2017 Keeping It Kayfabe Award: Matt Hardy, The Velveteen Dream, Elias, the artist formerly known as Elias Sampson, and Kenny Omega.
These guys, the Keeping It Kayfabe Award, it's the second award we've given out. That award is meant for those that keep it within the wrestling business. They have these characters. Bray Wyatt was nominated last year, not this year. Those characters that keep it within the wrestling realm. Obviously, you're not going to see these guys in the street doing the same thing. Matt Hardy with the woken/broken gimmick. I know he did the broken gimmick from January. All things considered, now that he's woken, January through April through WrestleMania. Now he's back on the woken gimmick. The Velveteen Dream is the ultimate gimmick. Elias, who wants to walk with Elias? And Kenny Omega. These guys that are just keeping it wrestling, keeping it kayfabe. But we'd be remiss, like I just said. We could talk about who nominees are all day. And like I mentioned with Bray Wyatt, who should have made it. But quite frankly, let's just go ahead and get into the winner of this year's Keeping It Kayfabe Award.
Velveteen Dream.
Yes, sir.
Go get it, Patrick.
This is a guy that Sage, the Mark, and I legit marked out for. This was a guy that I saw on Tough Enough, Patrick Clark. If you saw him on Tough Enough, he was not the Velveteen Dream. He comes in NXT, takes over as the Velveteen Dream, and this dude is 23. Watch out for his future. The Velveteen Dream is one of the best gimmicks. Hopefully that transitions well. He's almost a Rick Rude, Gold Dust, dare I say a little bit of the ambiguity of a Shinsuke Nakamura in there. I dig it. And if you didn't know if he could go or not in the ring, go watch the most recent NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
Go watch the most recent NXT TakeOver.
He definitely got put on the map, man. Definitely put everybody on notice. The Velveteen Dream is going to be someone to be reckoned with in 2018. Just like Ben Goosen says, if y'all don't know, go educate yourself. That War Games NXT TakeOver Houston match, potential match of the year.
It might be. It might be. It might be. Perhaps we will get into the Fisticuffs Award here in a little bit, but let's get into SmackDown real quick before we give away these final awards. Highlight of SmackDown for you. Hit me with it, Sage.
Is it? I mean, oh God, I'm about to mark out.
Uh-oh. Hit me with it. Mark out. Hit me with it.
Yo, Sunday's pay-per-view was so amazing for one reason only, and it's only 3 words that we gotta know. Happy Rusev Day. Happy Rusev Day. Rusev came in rocking the shop on Sunday. The crowd was behind him in Boston, chanting Rusev Day. Homie was going off like it was 1999. Yo, Rusev Day. He's getting the merch. He's got the woman. He's got everything he needs. Tag Team of the Year for 2018. I'm calling it right now. Rusev Day. Rusev Day. Rusev Day.
I'm pulling me for some Rusev Day, and the pops continued on the SmackDown. By far, the highlight of SmackDown this week was the New Day and Rusev Day backstage, where Rusev disrespected the New Day's flapjacks. What was it the Big E said that you said earlier?
You don't flap the wrong jack, sucker.
Yo, I think that, man, I loved it. Let's give some props to the live viewers here. Steven Martinez said a gimmick like that, referring to the Velveteen Dream, can only go so far. Eventually, he's got to do that hetero turn. But that's the thing with a gimmick like that. You can do the hetero turn. Case in point, Goldust. So the thing with the Velveteen Dream is he doesn't have the homophobe or the homo gimmick or whatever. He's just that in-betweener, that almost sexually ambidextrous gimmick. And he's got the Rick Rude thing going, and he's got the body to prove it. So you're right that the, hey, give me your attention kind of sexual thing, once that ends, it could turn into a complete Rick Rude thing where he's calling people sweat hogs, dirty sweat hogs. Look at my body, and I'm younger than you. Say my name, Velveteen Dream. And again, he's only 23. And no, Steven Martinez said, no, he's gay, all right. I think that there's a lot of room, there's a lot of areas he can go into. Rick Rude lasted forever and is a Hall of Famer, and he can kind of go that route into picking up the ladies. Prince did it, and he was super kind of ambiguous and things like that. So shout outs to you guys participating. This is a big show of ours that we do every year. SmackDown was the women got confirmed to be in the Royal Rumble. We didn't get a ton more on the Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon thing.
Well, they did tease the Daniel Bryan getting fired thing, but aside from the New Day, we got Dolph Ziggler potentially
winning the title. That's right. So talk to me. Where's that going? And don't talk to me about some. If I don't know if you read anything. I don't read the dirt sheets or whatever. I just know I heard on maybe a Stone Cold or an Edge and Christian or one of the podcasts Dolph Ziggler was on a month ago. He said, "Yeah, my contract's kind of coming up. We'll see what goes on." Where's that angle going?
Dolph's not leaving the company, at least not right now, man. I honestly think that I know that there's been talks about the title being redesigned. And I guess that's kind of a way you could retire the title. But right now it's just talk. I mean, that's just speculatory. I think that's what it really is leading to, is just the title being redesigned and whatnot. So, and no better person to do that than to Dolph. Because think about it, man. Like, you put it on Bobby Roode. What's Bobby Roode gonna say? Like, oh, I need this. I need the title to be changed so it looks more glorious. And you're kind of devaluing what the U.S. title looks like. And then last but not least, but I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures online with wrestlers posing with like the old school belts.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so that's I think that they're gonna try, and this is just my opinion. I'm not no dirt sheets or anything like that, but I think that they're gonna try to not modernize the titles, but kind of make them a bit more vintage or back to what they used to be like. And maybe the U.S. title is the first one to, I don't know. Maybe the U.S. title is the first one to get the redesigned look.
It could be. I think that that's a valid point. I don't know if maybe throwing those pictures out there was just a feeler, see how many views and all that stuff that they get. But that's definitely something that could be. But other than that, what was SmackDown to you? Was there much content to it?
Not really, man. But I'm not. It's not something that I'm expecting that there will be a lot of content to, because we've got a long time until the Royal Rumble. You know, the Daniel Bryan and Shane story angle, that right there is not going to really fully manifest itself until probably WrestleMania. So everything's going to just basically be a slow build, and we've got to get used to it. And remember, a couple of weeks ago we even talked about it. We're going to have fewer pay-per-views the first 6 months, so they're going to need to rely heavily on the slow burn methodology going forward. It's not something that we're used to, but it is something that we're going to need to start getting used to, at least for the first 6 months.
I agree, and I think that's a great point. I think it's a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? So SmackDown was it was what it was. Not too much to talk about. We're kind of in the slow times, especially for these next 2 weeks. With the holiday times. Speaking of the next 2 weeks, we just want to give you the heads up at the IRWP Awards. Once we do these, we won't have shows coming at you for the next 2 weeks, mainly because it's the holidays, of course. It's obvious we want you guys to spend time with your family and stuff like that, and we're going to do the same. So we'll be absent for the next 2 weeks, then back at you in January with some fresh new content, fresh new shows, and we'll be on our road to the Royal Rumble. Hopefully I'll be strep throat free, because if you remember last year, I think if you watched the shows or listened to the shows last year, I caught strep really, really, really bad. And strep throat and podcast doesn't really go together. And then I got, I guess, healed. No, I got woken. I got woken from the strep throat. And little backstory here is I got over the strep throat somewhat, stopped taking the medicine. And then I went to NXT in San Antonio and drank a bunch of beer and woke up, went to the Royal Rumble, drank a bunch of beer, and it came right back. So apparently when you're getting over a cold, when you're getting over something, going out with the fellas, yes, that's you, Sage and Mark, Darby Amore, and drinking cold ones and going to wrestling shows does not help the immune system. It does not at all. I wouldn't be able to go in the ring. I wouldn't be able to put on a match of the year, especially getting over that sickness. That's an interesting point, because we have an award for the Fisticuff Award. Do you want to get in the Fisticuff Award, Sage?
Oh, yeah.
So spill the beans on the nominees and what the IRWP Fisticuff Award actually means. Let's provide some clarity on that.
Yeah, the Fisticuff Award is one of the most prestigious awards of IRWP. It's only been offered 2 times in its existence. And that's mainly because, well, our podcast has only been 2 years, but aside from that, this is to honor the people, the honor the feuds and or matches of the year of 2017. Now, keep in mind that there weren't very many feuds going on in 2017. A lot of them were quick turnarounds, but there were some that were very meaningful that we're still talking about to this day. So with that, I present the nominees.
And the nominees are...
We've got Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton, and I know what you're saying. This is probably one of the feuds that you probably didn't like very much, but no doubtably, this feud has actually put Jinder on the map. Jinder won the title from Randy Orton. He kept the title for approximately 9 months out of the year. The matches very, very solid towards the end. We got the Punjabi prison match that we haven't seen in like 12 plus years. So Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton, congratulations for being a nominee of the Fisticuff Award. We mentioned it earlier. One of the matches of the year was from NXT War Games, and that was the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. The ring psychology between both men, the crisp in-ring work between both men, the ability for Velveteen Dream to wrestle while he was injured and hurt and still make it look like a five-star match made this a very deserving award. Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black, good luck. Rounding out the beginning of the first quarter of the year was the AJ Styles and Shane McMahon match, which ended in WrestleMania, where AJ Styles came in all white, which was pretty awesome. So yes, I can't even remember what that match was, man. That's pretty bad. But
it was just the ending of a good feud because you didn't really know who was going to win. Yeah, that was definitely a good match. AJ Styles always puts on good matches.
And last but not least, we have Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. These two went at it for a good portion of the end of 2016, beginning portion of 2017. We had dumpsters and fire trucks and no hold bar matches between these guys and great catchphrases that unfortunately didn't make the cut this year, but were pretty awesome to hear, including Braun and I'm not finished with you. So with that being said, I now present to you the winner of the 2017 Fisticuff Awards.
Yes. That to us, to the IRWP, is without a shadow of a doubt the feud of the year. Think about what that feud meant. You've had a lot of feuds. Sami Owens, Shane McMahon thing is kind of new, but you've had a lot of feuds this year. And what is one that you could think of that led up to a really good match? And that's why we call it the Fisticuffs, because you could have good matches. You could have match of the year. But it's got to, if you have a feud behind it, that's 3-4 months that culminates. This was the longest feud of the year for the most part. And it led to so many things. Braun Strowman breaking out. Braun Strowman becoming a face wrestler once he started to get pops from different people. Braun Strowman breaking out with the I'm not done yet and starting to get just true pops. And he got some wins over Roman Reigns. So it was overall just a great feud that ended in a great match. Just completely ended in a great match. What are your thoughts, Sage?
So I also felt like it was vindicated, we as marks, as smart marks, as internet IWC or wherever you want to call us. I think that having Braun was a godsend. It was vindication after that crap that took place during the Royal Rumble, where we ended up getting crapped all over with Roman Reigns almost winning the Royal Rumble. So to actually have Braun come out and just destroy Roman Reigns night after night after night, week after week after week, was just something simply amazing. thoroughly enjoyed it. Had me wanting more. Raw was finally starting to gain traction in terms of beating SmackDown in terms of entertainment wise. And it was all because of Braun and Roman. So hats off.
Agreed. And we've got some live chat participation today. Hopefully, Silky Metal. Hopefully, the boy's still around. And Styles versus Brock was great too. And yes, it was great. But that was a real quick 2-3 month thing. That was kind of a build up, hell of a match. That's why we call it the fisticuffs, because it really engages just what all entailed the feud of the year. So what's a great match without a feud? And these guys were spotlighted. These guys were in the main event. They were in the spotlight. But what about those guys who aren't in the spotlight stage? Like there's guys who maybe had the spotlight at one time. Maybe they got over, whether it was in NXT, maybe it was in SmackDown, maybe it was in Raw, maybe they're former champions, or there's these things that just
disrupt the Royal Rumble.
Exactly. There's these things that just disrupt the wrestling industry, and then you never see them again. They make an impact immediately, a huge impact. And on that note, let's get in the Milk Carton Award. The Milk Carton Award, I'll give you some background, and Sage will give you the nominees. The Milk Carton Award is for the Where Are You? You made an impact at some point, whether it was yesterday, today, a month ago, or a year ago, or 2 years ago. But you're not making an impact now, so just where are you? So the nominees for the Milk Carton Award, Sage, fill me in.
Yeah, man, the Milk Carton Award. Where you at, son? I mean, that's what we've been asking for all year around. Where you at, son? We start that list at Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler was completely missing all year round. And we heard the rumblings that he might have been upset about the way that his character has been progressing and the lack of depth from the creative team. We get that. But Dolph, where you at, son? I mean, you surprised us this Sunday, but before that, where was you at, man? I mean, that's all we got to say. But as shocking and surprising as that was, it pales in comparison to what my boy Ty Dillinger has been exposed to in 2017. I mean, homie got the call up to the Royal Rumble, came out number 10, was rocking it in San Antonio. Everybody was completely behind. He gets the official call up to SmackDown Live. We see him for 2 weeks. He's not present after that. He comes back, tags in with Sami Zayn, which I thought that was a good pairing. I thought they was going to go. So I thought they were going to make a play for the tag team titles. But no, we don't see Ty Dillinger. He gone for like another 6-7 months. Still haven't seen my boy. And we're coming into 2018. Ty, where you at, son? Next on the list is the Ascension. The Ascension for a good while was just not there. I mean, how do you go from being NXT champions, one of the best and decorated champions on NXT, to not present at all on the main roster until the Fashion Police plucks you from obscurity? I don't get it. Where you at, Ascension? Where you at? And Goose, I think you might be best to tell us who the last nominee of this Milk Carton Award is, son. Give it to
Meningitis, bruh. Meningitis. Well, the hell, where are you at? You were a huge impact on the Survivor Series. Meningitis, where you at? How you gonna make an impact on Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and none of the rest of the roster? Maybe Meningitis should have impacted the rest of the roster, so Ty Dillinger, the Ascension, could have been on the card. That's when you know you're on the Milk Carton Award, is when Meningitis hits the locker room. But Meningitis runs to the locker room and is like, all right, Roman Reigns, I'm going to get you. What was that? Bray Wyatt, I'm going to get you. Oh, Ty Dillinger. No, shit. No. I ain't going. Ascension. No, I ain't going to hit your ass. Dolph Ziggler. I can't even find where Dolph Ziggler's at. He's not even in the locker room today. No, I'm going to go after these other cats. Meningitis. If you're going to hit, keep hitting. Keep infecting people. Those are the nominees. But at the end of the day, you guys want to know who the winner is. And the winner is... Yo,
Yes.
yo. You know what I feel? You know what I feel bad for? I YouTubed something. Listen.
Oh my god. Die, bro. What the?
That sounds, for those of y'all who have listened to the show, that sounds like Dobby Amore for the record. After he slams like a shot of fireball. Oh yeah, old meningitis picks up the dub. Yo ass, you came in, you struck. That's like meningitis made their debut, the equivalent of Paige. She came in and beat AJ Lee and won the Divas title back then, first night. It'd be like me coming from NXT and beating John Cena, kind of like, like Kevin Owens, and then just literally going into obscurity the next day. Meningitis, you need to step your game up. You need to step your game up real bad. Wasn't that a great clip, by the way?
Yeah, it was, man. You need to.
It was real.
Getting out, man, on that Tussin, bro. Putting Tussin on. Nah, meningitis. You stronger than Tussin. You took out Superman. Where you at, son? Where you at?
Yo, Steven Martinez in the chat says he wished meningitis hit Jason Jordan's ass. Jason Jordan's doing his thing as a heel, not a face. So we dig what Jason Jordan is doing. So I just mentioned Steven Martinez. I've mentioned a lot of people. Stephen Thatch, Silky Mel Johnson. Every week we give shout outs to those folks that listen to us, that follow us, that download the show. We're up to a few hundred actually followers. We're actually doing real well. But we'd be remiss if this show didn't have. We'd be remiss if we didn't have Jobbers of the Year. So this is also a thank you. Sage, terrible spelling on Stephen Thatch, by the way, but absolutely horrible spelling on that. And there's some backstory. Stephen Thatch is one of our regular listeners. I had the chance to listen to him. And he said he hates his names being spelled with a T in the middle. But
dude, I spelled his first day wrong too, bro.
Oh God, that's great. So our IWP listeners, we know we like to give you stuff. Last year we gave away some Royal Rumble tickets. We gave away, I think, a copy of WWE 2K18. So with the IRWP Award, we want to reward our fans, the jobbers. So talk to me about Sage, about the nominees for the Jobber Award.
Yes. This is actually the first time that we've given out this reward. And first and foremost, I just got to echo what Ben Goosen says, man. We do this for you guys. We love our community. Unlike other people, like, we truly love our community. We support our community. This has been a passion project for both Ben Goosen and myself. And we're just thankful that we actually have people that want to share with us, So with that being said, we wanted to recognize Stephen Thatch. Sorry about misspelling both of your first name and your last name, man. By far, you've been day one-ish with us, so we definitely appreciate you. Next on the list, we got Silky Mel Johnson. Silky Mel, he brings the laughter in the chat room. He's got an awesome forum where he brings community members from San Antonio and all around Texas. So keep it up, Silky Mel. Thank you so much for supporting us and allowing us to get our word out through your channel and vice versa. Hopefully we can get you on the podcast sometime soon. Next, we got the Raging Cajun Joker. I can't say it enough. Our interactions go beyond just YouTube. We've got Twitter, and one of our most active community members on Twitter is the Raging Cajun Joker, and we appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for being a part of IRWP Jabba community. And last but not least, our Instagram love for Soda Pop Phoenix, or Soda Pop Fiend Hendrix. I probably slaughtered that. I've been slaughtering.
You can't read. You can't read.
Go to Pop Hendrix, man. Giving us that Instagram love. Y'all, you know what? Regardless of who wins, y'all go check these guys out. Subscribe. You know, let them know that, you know, we appreciate them and follow them. So with that being said, let's give out the 2017 first annual IRWP Award. Jabba Jabba.
I'm gonna let this roll for a bit.
Oh,
Let this play out. Let this play out. You gotta let this play out.
Just like baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just like so glue.
man, we go get takedown notices left and right, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm about to get a notice here in a bit.
Yo,
Silky Mel.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Silky Mel.
I gotta give you credit.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate everybody on the list, but there can only be one. We're gonna hit you up, Silky. Get your measurements, and we're gonna get you a t-shirt for IRWP. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Silky Mel, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. We got some stuff coming your way. We're going to hit you up on the side. We'll hit you up, let you know what's going on. Obviously, you know, if you follow us on Instagram, you can see a pic of me and Silky Mel. Appreciate you listening, man. It's a big thing, doing a big thing for the brothers and for San Antonio just in general. So we got some merch coming out your way, and we got some stuff going out. For the record, that was the best song for Silky Mel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I almost want to let it ride. So, wrapping up the show today, we got a couple more awards to give out today. So let's get into Breakout Star of the Year. To talk about these cats, but I think you could do a better job if I can say. So I'll let you handle this. Breakout Star of the Year. Other awards, we had 4 nominees. This one we got 5, just because this was a hell of a year in pro wrestling. So Sage, talk to me, boy.
Yeah, this has definitely been a great year for wrestling, especially on the indie side of the house. We got a lot of new grown talent on the indie sides. They're actually making waves more so than the actual current talent on the roster, and that's something to cheer about. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and start out by recognizing Kairi Sane as one of our nominees. Kairi Sane, if you guys haven't seen, she was actually the first winner of the Mae Young Women's Classic tournament. Hell of a tournament. That elbow drop from the top rope is insane. I have not seen anything that crazy in my entire life. I can't tell who it hurts more, the person taking it or Kairi Sane actually delivering it, because that thing is just crazy. You know, from there we had the Velveteen Dream. I can't sing much more of his praises than what we've already done. He's been all over the place tonight.
Yep.
Velveteen Dream, keep doing your thing. Hopefully you'll make it to the finals, but we're going to find out and see. Braun Strowman, you know, he started out as a Wyatt family member, then got traded to Raw on his own. Dude has just been doing his own thing. Great talker, great ring psychologist, quick as a big man. Great moments this year. Braun Strowman, you the man, bro. Next on the list, we got that Kenny Omega, that cleaner Kenny Omega, single-handedly has shaken the staff and taken notice at the WWE. Everyone knows who Kenny Omega is. Camped out in front of Well, that was Cody Rhodes who actually did that. But even so, his faction camped outside Raw Studios in California to the point where WWE had to issue out a cease and desist. Homie's going to be in one of the biggest matches of the year where New Japan is going, you know what, if you haven't bought stock in New Japan, you better buy it right now. You better buy. Because as soon as January 4th comes around, everybody's purchasing that money, putting in that work, watching that Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, because Kenny Omega, the cleaner, Kenny Omega, good night, goodbye, is on the list.
Bang.
And last but not least, we got Joey Ryan. What you know about Joey Ryan, son? Why he on the list?
So Joey Ryan broke out huge with the Penisplex a few years ago, but the Penisplex has grown. So Joey Ryan's doing all sorts of independent promo shows, and I actually had the chance to see Joey Ryan perform, and in San Antonio, which was followed up with a ton of these, which was followed up with a ton of that sound right there. But I had the chance to see him, and he was one of the biggest stars of the indie shows. And yes, he does the Penisplex, but he also does the lollipop gimmick, the touch my dick thing. So the Penisplex, it's transcending a lot of things. And yeah, it was new, last year and everything, but he's a indie draw. So that's why we voted for Joey Ryan as the breakout star of the year. I think that's amazing that we got, I mean, if you think about it, amongst all the WWE guys, WWE is the biggest company, we only have Braun Strowman. That's true WWE. I mean, you could say Velveteen Dream, but he's still NXT. He's not on the main roster. He's not on Raw. But we have a lot of indie talent on this for the Breakout Star of the Year award, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I do too, man. And shout out to Joey Ryan too, real quick, man. Doing his intergender matches, man, and giving love to the women's wrestlers, man. Not afraid to take that pen, and that's what I'm talking about, man.
So let's go ahead and get this. Your winner for Breakout Star of the Year.
Bullet Club. For
the man who by far had the biggest year in professional wrestling. I'm going to say it. You ready? I'm going to say it.
Say it.
He had the biggest year in professional wrestling history by far.
In entertainment?
This ever.
Oh, okay.
He had the biggest year. I got a text today, and it got confirmed a couple of other areas. The Bullet Club outnumbers merch-wise the number of merch the WWE has at Hot Topic. There's more Bullet Club merch and NJPW merch, and the Chris Jericho Alpha Club shirt just dropped, I think, yesterday. The Bullet Club has more merch than the WWE. Kenny Omega has a ton of merch that's out there. I went to ROH here in San Antonio. Kenny Omega had a line formed with 300 people deep. Kenny Omega is the breakout star of the year. His match last year against Okada was rated one of the best matches of all time, and that was in January. And he lost. He lost, and then he lost the rematch, and then he won the third one. The guy loses, but when you lose and you come out the ultimate winner, that's huge. That's huge. I can tell you this. I'm going to tell you a story real quick.
Go ahead, Goose.
I have been out 3 separate times, different occasions, had nothing to do with wrestling, and I went out not long ago with Darby Amore. No, it was not with Darby Amore. I apologize. Darby Amore. I went out to a bar, had a few beers. On my way to the bathroom, walking back from the bathroom, this guy, I was wearing my Bullet Club shirt. This guy just throws up the Too Sweet sign. So we do, the Bullet Club Too Sweet sign. So, no words. A couple days later, I'm at Wingstop. I see a guy rolling in the Bullet Club shirt. He goes, sits down. I'm leaving the place, and I said, "Hey, man, get it?" And he looks at me and goes, "Oh, I get it." We leave. I'm Christmas shopping. I'm at Toys R Us. See a guy in a he was wearing a Bullet Club sweater. I walked past him and I said, "Hey, man, you still in line? You got a lot of shopping you got to do?" And he said, "Yeah, just shopping for the family." I said, "Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Do you get it?" And he looked at me and said, and I walked off. So it's like a camaraderie. Wrestling fans, the Bullet Club's mega huge. And who's the face of the Bullet Club? Yeah, you would like to think the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, but is Kenny Omega. Like, fans are dying to have him in the WWE. It's probably not going to happen until he's, older or past his prime or something, because he's got to be making a killing. I love me some Kenny Omega.
It's all about that one wing angel, man. That one wing angel.
Bang. And he could speak multiple languages. That's huge. So Kenny Omega by far, just breakout star of the year. Sage and I, when we get together, what we do is our nominees. He picks 4, I pick 4, and we go through them. And Sage is a mark, hence the name Sage Mark. And I say, "Oh yeah, you're kind of being a mark here." And he says, "No, man, you're just thinking about what makes a ton of money here. You're not thinking about the real fan." So I think we have, and correct me if I'm wrong, we got 2 more awards to give out. These are our normal top 2 awards: Most Improved and Superstar of the Year. I'm curious about what our fans are going to hear about this one. Let's get into the Most Improved. We're talking about Kenny Omega right now, so let's get into Most Improved. Sage, hit us with the nominees.
So, for the 2017 Most Improved, Kenny Omega. So, no, I mean, we can't say much more about Kenny Omega, man. Everybody knows who Kenny Omega is. And, rewind 2 years ago, and nobody knew him other than Seth Rollins might have been stealing some of his moves, but he's definitely helped put NJPW on his back. They now got a U.S. following. They in the Hot Topics. They in your screen. They in all your events. You Spurs fan, they at the Spurs fans too. There's Spurs Stadium there at the SBC Center. Oh, you a Cleveland Browns fan? Guess what? In the stadium, there's Bullet Club members there too. Kenny Omega, Most Improved. He is everywhere. He will be in high demand for the coming years. Enough said. Then we got Braun Strowman, and we, as the breakout, he was the breakout star, right? No, he wasn't, but he was running up for the breakout star award. But his matches have just improved. He's just, when we think that we've seen everything that Braun has got in the tank, he shows us something completely different. Who would have ever thought that 2 big men in the ring would actually be entertaining as the main event? Him and the Big Show, all 3 matches that they had together were truly amazing. Even when the ring didn't break, it was still something to marvel and to look at. And don't even get us started on Roman Reigns. Then we got Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal went from being obscured, 3-man band, fired, jobber. And I say jobber in the most respectful of ways, putting over talent, to coming back being ripped like no one I've ever seen, shredded, taking heat from all of the fans because most of them felt that he was juicing, to becoming the champion for 9 months, reintroducing us to the modern day, or the Punjabi prison match, to having one of the hottest catchphrases of 2017 that didn't make the list, the modern day Maharaja. I can't do it. Jinder Mahal is definitely turned heads. You didn't know who he was last year. You know who he is now. And last but not least, we got Jason Jordan, gold-blooded Jason Jordan. Came up from NXT, almost got fired twice. Came up to the main roster, tag with Jason Jordan, was one of the hottest upcoming tag team of 2017 until they pulled the plug on that experiment. He got traded to Raw because his dad, Kurt Angle, decided to give him opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. And you know what? Despite his win-loss record, his matches have been nothing short but stellar. Jason Jordan, you deserve to be on this most improved list.
Yo, I completely agree. Now let's go ahead and get to the winner here. This one was easy. Super easy. A guy who goes from a jobber nobody to knocking in 1 week, knocking out 2 days, knocking out Finn Balor out cold, and getting a title shot against Randy Orton. That was huge. And Jinder was nobody before, but he's this tremendously jacked dude. So shout outs to Jinder Mahal. Well-deserved win by far for most improved over the other guys, just because he went from literally 0 to 150 cards to having great matches and things like that. With even though I've said it before, I would like to see him kick out of a couple of matches or kick out of a couple of close falls and stuff for them to build him up. But he literally went from jobber nobody to, the modern day Maharaja. Now, biggest award of the year by far. And this one we had some heated discussions on.
Heated over some pho.
Yeah, we had some really good Vietnamese food. The service sucked really bad.
That new management, son.
and that's great when you go eat Vietnamese food and it's all a bunch of white dudes serving you. Get into this. The of the year award, the awards of the year. This is the superstar of the year. Dude. And I want you to go with the second two. Asuka, a woman who is undefeated years now, regardless of her relinquishing the NXT title. It's that she hasn't lost in forever. Probably the best women's wrestler on the roster. Amazing in the ring. She played kind of a little heel role in NXT towards the end a little bit, but she always picked up the W. The Usos. These guys turned heel and turned it up. And they kept the titles forever. They won something, lost some here, but at the end of the day, and they are still the tag champs. And they were so good as heels and so good on the mic and so good in the ring that it naturally turned them into faces, which they are today. The Usos.
Locked down.
Awards. Let's get into the next two nominees. Sage, I'll let you discuss those two guys.
It's no surprise that AJ Styles, the house that AJ Styles built, SmackDown Live. AJ Styles has just been all over the place, man. And that I say that in the greatest of ways. Starting out hot with his SummerSlam, his first WrestleMania win over Mr. McMahon Jr., Shane McMahon, here comes the money, to putting on like matches after matches on SmackDown Live, making everybody that he faces amazing in the ring, elevating them to the level of greatness, making SmackDown a great product to watch, putting on a good match for Jinder Mahal, putting over the Singh brothers. AJ Styles can do it all. Last minute you need somebody to fill in because meningitis, decided to not be on the milk carton on that day. That's okay. Call your boy AJ Styles because he's there. And then last but not least, we got the cleaner Kenny Omega. And we said it over the last hour to hour and 15 minutes. Kenny Omega has just been simply amazing the last year and a half. Nothing but good things, big things coming out of him. And the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega, keep doing your thing. January 4th, all eyes will be on you, son. But with that being said, let's find out who gets the most illustrious IRWP award.
Yep. Yes, y'all. The two-time winner of the IRWP Superstar of the Year award goes to none other than P1 AJ Styles.
That's right.
By far. So let's look at the year that AJ Styles had. If you looked at the impact in wrestling as a whole, Kenny Omega probably had the biggest impact, arguably ever, on the impact in wrestling in general. But here's the thing. Look at match of the year. And this barely missed the list. It was John Cena versus AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, where John Cena first pulled off the roll through AAA. He made Ginger look great in the ring. And McMahon at WrestleMania looked great in the ring. He had a competitive match with Brock Lesnar. At the end of the day, you know what you're getting. AJ Styles. Until he amazes you in the ring again. By far, this guy he's hitting Mount Rushmore status. You can do anything in the ring, heel or face. You know what you're going to get. He's where he's at for a reason. Everything he does is just phenomenal in the ring by far. So AJ Styles is the two-time WP Superstar of the Year award. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stress it enough. AJ Styles, you know, what makes a great, when we talk about what makes a great wrestler, you know, it's the wrestler who has the ability to make anyone that he is in the ring or has a program with better, to elevate their status. With, you know, even whether or not he's winning or losing, it does not take away from them, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, drawing power. And AJ makes it drawing power no matter who he's in the ring with. And we thank him for it. You know, I definitely wish the WWE wouldn't have taken the pass on him when he did, but maybe because they did, you know, this is why, you know, he feels he's got that chip on his shoulder. It makes you want to believe that he is the greatest of all time. And you know what? He in my top 5 list.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt for sure in the top 5 list. So that's it for the show today. That's our second annual IRWP Awards. We really appreciate all you cats joining us. We really do. Had a great show today. Do we have any shout outs that we want to get into before we wrap up? Take our little 2-week hiatus?
Oh, you're talking to me. My bad, man. No, just a quick reflection, guys. Thank you so much for making IRWP one of the hottest new shows, podcasts out there. The numbers on the audio podcast is amazing. Amazing. You know, we've got over 600. Actually, I think it's probably closer to 750 subscribers on our audio podcast, and that's with us taking all the drops out that used to make things great on the audio side of the house. But it's still a great number, and we're only getting bigger. We're only getting better. We're getting more guests. We're hopefully we'll get the kinks out with the phone lines so we can have you guys live. And thank you for just continuing to support our passion project. It means a lot to both of us. We've got a lot of exciting things coming for 2018. And just, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Get the word out.
Yes, yes. And we will be gone again for the next 2 weeks. So we want to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Have a great New Year. Spend some time with the family. Peace, love, a lot of negativity going on in the world. It's not hard to find a ton of that negativity stuff. So just enjoy your life, have some fun. And at the end of the day, like we always tell you when we wind down, just keep it real. Keep it real with one another. Go out there. Peace, love. You heard the IRWP Awards. I can't wait for the next year's show. Shout out to Silky Mel Johnson. Thank you for winning Jobber of the Year award. At the end of the day, love one another, give some respect, say what's up to a fellow wrestling fan, because we're out there, especially like I told you earlier, we're all looking for our Bullet Club t-shirts. And just like Sage Mark told you earlier, we appreciate you guys. And hey, keep it real.
Keep it real. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Gruesome. The thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the IRWP and not of the host. Go ahead and hit us up on irwp.us, where you'll find our Twitter and Twitch links. Hit us up anytime. Again, we're going to be gone for the next 2 weeks for you guys to enjoy your holidays, spend some time with the family, enjoy it. And hey, at the end of the day, keep it real.